Bill, what's up? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Pleasure to have you on, man. Pleasure to have you on. I know you out there in Vegas, right?
Yeah, I'm in Vegas right now.
Okay, okay. Good to see you, man. You looking good, brother. You looking fresh, bro.
Thank you, bro. You already know, got the fight coming up Saturday night, Benavides down here to go represent my mans, see my peoples.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
He's the
You
master from the
know,
army. he fighting Saturday night too, so you gotta go represent your boys, what they putting on.
yeah, man. You got to go out there and support, man. So Donnie, man, with everything. So here's the thing, right? Whatever it is that it comes towards politics, I don't really know that much, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not afraid to admit that I don't really know that much. I know a little some, but not as much. And you always put me on game when it comes towards, um the just the betterment of our country and politics and all these different things. And I can't front. There's a lot of times that you said something and it's not until years later that I'm seeing it play out, right? And I'm like,
Profit,
damn,
right?
yo, it's crazy.
Profit, bro.
Yo, you
God
are.
bless me with that. Huh? I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how God bless you with that. You know why? Because history repeats itself. You know what I'm saying? There's no new plans, right?
Yep.
Every playbook is an old book that's just been recycled, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you just gotta go back to the archives and look at, these books and figure out, what play they're using.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's
Mm-hmm.
been done already.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Yo, what do you think? What's your thoughts on President Trump getting elected as the 45th president of the United States of America? You like that?
Yeah, I could go to sleep. I sleep good at night. I wake up like, damn. Instead of waking up like, damn, that happened. I'm like, damn, he did that for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh.
Yo, yo, so here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, right? I'm finding out, man, that a lot of people is feeling like, it's not good for our country, or if they wanted, President-elect Kamala Harris to win, all these things, right? But I'm like, man, I don't even think this, for me, looking at it from the outside, I think this was more of an election
The
of,
people,
yeah,
the
you know
people
what I mean?
wanted this.
The people,
Common sense people. It was the common sense people won this election,
hmm
right? Over all of the pseudo intellects that go to Harvard, MIT, UMass. All those are pseudo intellects, right?
hmm
Most of them are pseudo. They fake. They're not even that really smart. They're not
yeah,
really that smart because they can't think for themselves. They're like right now. I'm in university, right? I'm
right.
working my PhD, right?
What
I'm
you
having a
getting it
problem.
in?
Urban planning, building cities.
Okay,
I'm going to be a federal planner. My job, my goal is to work with Trump, and be his planner, one of his
absolutely.
planners. That's what I want to do. Um, People are pseudo intellects, like I was saying before. People are not that smart in the university. They give degrees to the most compliant student. They don't give degrees to the kid that's outthinking you or is just innovative. They don't give degrees to innovation anymore.
You're
They
right.
give
You're right.
degrees for compliancy,
You're
right?
right.
This not, and that's not right. That's disgusting. Because the university means universal, right? We all bring our thoughts to the pot, to one
Mm.
pot, and
hmm
we make something of it. This is not universal. That's why Trump needs to come to Massachusetts, DOE, and fix. He's going to come to Boston. He's coming to Boston soon. He needs to fix all of this
Yep.
education because they're miseducating our kids, and misinformation is what's killing us.
Mm. Yo, let me ask you this, right? Because this is kind of like a hot topic right now because I see people all over social media kind of, saying that, and I did a little bit of research on this, right? Because they're cutting off diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, right? And you're applauding that. So here's what I found out, right, Donnie? According to the U.S. Department of Labor, the number one recipient of diversity, equity, and inclusion is
It's white
white
women.
women.
It's white women.
It's white women, right? And under the ethnic minority group, right? Are here, listen to this: Latin, Asian, Native Americans, people with disabilities, veterans, LGBTQ, right? And the last on the totem pole is Black Americans. So let me ask you this: why do you think people are so, uh, going crazy against the cutting of DEI if it never really served us in the first place?
Because they got brainwashed to think it was for black folks. It was like DEI came out with Black Lives Matter movement and shit, Like that's all Marxists,
Mm,
DEI is basically affirmative action repackaged. Now, affirmative action never helped the boy from the hood, the black kids from the hood. It helped the black kid that was from Brookline, that was from Newton. You know what I'm saying? It helped those black families. It didn't help the black family that was from Lenox Street, Ruggles Projects. It didn't help those
mm,
Franklin Field projects. It didn't help those type of black kids. It didn't help those black families. It only helped prominent black families. Like this,
wow.
it's fake. It's all
Y-
fake.
Yo, you know
And
it's
the people with those jobs, the blacks with those DEI jobs,
yep.
or the blacks that didn't go to school with us. Those are the blacks that went to Metco.
Mm,
Those are the blacks that are the gatekeepers.
yep.
See, DEI's professionals, they're just gatekeepers. They're just here to see what blacks is not going to get the opportunity.
Mm, that's crazy.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
gatekeepers, bro.
yeah,
And really, like I said, it's really for white women. It's really for LGBT gay white women. White women and gay white women, single white moms. It
yeah.
wasn't really for us.
Yeah, and it's crazy, man. When I read that stuff, I was like, wow, that's crazy because you would think diversity, equity, and inclusion that would be, something that is
Now, that's
for
a
black
title for a
folks.
black person. That's just a job title for a black person to have a nice big time job. That's just the title,
Yeah.
right? This is a title for a gatekeeper.
Yep.
Now we get happy because we got gates. We got jobs. Now come on, get the fuck out of here. I can't stand
Yo, let me ask you this, dude. Let me ask you this.
What?
Um, Like, what's your, you've been always saying this, right? So another big thing that's been in the news and on social media is the fact that the illegal immigrants, right? And we're seeing that President-elect President Trump has kind of like put a hit out on all the illegal
La
immigrants
migra, la
that's out here.
migra, la migra, la migra, la migra, la
Yo,
migra.
so what's your thoughts on that, bro? What's your thoughts on that?
It's amazing. It's long overdue.
Yeah.
It's long overdue. Like these people don't pay taxes here, so why are they mad about? Why are they crying about getting sent back? Why are they crying about the benefits getting cut off? You don't pay taxes in this country.
Mm,
Cross the border legally. We
that's
can't
true.
go to your country and get demand the same rights.
I
You
agree.
understand that?
Yeah, yeah. It makes perfect
So why
sense.
why are you crying? Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Like take everything and go. It's hurting our resources. It's hurting housing. It's hurting jobs. It's hurting
Hmm.
food. Everything is high. Think
Yeah.
about it. You got all these people, supply and demand, right? You put
Yep.
more people in the pot, right? Now I can jack the prices up on everything,
Yeah.
right? The gas prices don't never got to come down now.
Yep.
Right now,
It,
send them back so our gas prices can get back lower. Send them
and
all back.
and it's
Send
crazy too
everybody back.
because like a lot of the times you seeing all these the illegal immigrants that were these guys were like fugitives, you know what I mean? These guys were killing people and doing horrible things in their own country, and then they
And
come
they get
here.
to right.
You know what I mean? And then now it's like, yo, like, how you guys gonna let these guys in? You know what I'm saying? These guys is pretty much, and the violence here, in the States, in New York and certain cities, right, has escalated, bro. You know what I'm saying? Has escalated. So you got the MS-13s, all these different gangs that's out here, bro, like that's really doing harm in our city. you
So,
know?
but if you leave that to our media, the media
Yeah.
like Boston media, New York media, if you leave that to the media, because I'm a planner, right? I work with the media, work with these people, right? I do stats, we create stats, right?
Yep.
So if you leave that to the media, they're gonna say crime is at its lowest in Boston, but it's really not. You see people are getting shot like every weekend. I
Hmm.
mean, murder rate's down, but people are still there's still violent crimes happening.
Right. Right.
So what they're doing is with their stats, I don't know how they're making their stats, how they're fabricating their stats, but they're fabricating them, right? Um, it's just I don't know what variables they're using, but they're not using the right variables to show how many people have been shot this year. They're just
Mm.
showing people that have been killed in Boston. But how many people
Mm.
have been shot? How many people have been stabbed? I mean, stabbings have gone up in Boston, but we're
Hmm.
not talking about that. See, we're talking about they do selective stats. You see, so they pick the stats they want to give the people and tell the people. They don't give you the whole. She doesn't. Mayor Wu does not give you. She's not transparent. She's not going to show you her whole hand. What's on the
Hmm.
table because her table is sloppy right now. It's disarray.
Hmm.
So her cabinet, her whole planning team, they pretty much construct all their stats. I worked with their team for all of last year at UMass. With the planning department. So I'm telling you, they make up everything.
Hmm.
It's all made up.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy, bro. I never even knew that.
It's not
So
real.
certain.
How can you say, oh, they're numbers? How are they not real? The numbers are not real because they don't reflect. So say, okay, like we said, how can I explain this? Boston has had maybe like 20 murders last year, right?
Yep.
Right? Which is a lot. They'll say, oh, only 5 people got shot in Boston this year.
Mm. They just switch up the
They won't
vocabulary.
tell you. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll probably like 36 murders this year, but they'll just say only 5 people got shot this year. Or they'll give you another stat like say, murders are down, right? But gunshot shootings are up, stabbings are up. They'll give you another stat. They won't give you the direct line.
Mm.
They'll never show that to you ever.
Yo, so Donnie, I got a couple of minutes, right? Let me ask you this question here real quick, right? What's your thoughts on President Trump calling for an end of federal income tax? What's your thoughts on that?
And the federal income, that's
Yeah.
amazing. I
Really?
mean,
Why?
I mean, look, we didn't have income tax like a few years, like less than 100 years ago. Like we just started federal income tax. That's
Really?
a new thing. That's a new thing. There's lots of countries that don't have federal income taxes that are thriving and are great, right? Because it's
So
just
who does that benefit, right? The federal income tax.
it
How does that?
benefits the government. It benefits the government.
Okay.
It benefits the authoritarians. Like basically, if you got an authoritarian state like we have in Massachusetts, it benefits them
What,
because they get to play with the money, they get to hide the money, they get to do whatever they want with the money, and they all keep between themselves.
wow.
It's like a coup. Like they form a coup here in Massachusetts. You have Ayanna Presley, you have Warren, Elizabeth Warren, you have the Chinese man, you got slick girl.
Yo, yo.
A lot of them chicks on the city council was slick and going hard, like making sex tapes and having sex in front of their kids. So yeah, you got, but I forgot her name, but whatever.
But yeah, yeah, yeah,
The point is, they form a coup with each other, you know, to
yeah,
keep things within themselves,
yeah.
and it's dangerous. They also form these coups, like you also, they try to form a coup to kick out a royal, right? That's supposed to be their boy, right? Try to form a coup against him and try to form a coup against the two white city councilors,
Yeah.
uh, Flynn and I forgot her name. I used to work with her in the BPS. She's awesome. She's good people. Forgot her name. But yeah, they've tried to form a coup to take these people out. If they don't like you, if you don't comply, you're not compliant. Like we said, you're not compliant.
You out.
You're
You
out of here.
cut.
Just like
Wow.
Cox. Just like Cox. You see, Commissioner Cox.
Yeah.
He's very compliant. That's the guy you want to look at. His face should be on the definition of compliancy of like puppet. He is a puppet, right? He has no backbone. You want a police commissioner that's going to be able to stand up to the mayor, stand up to whatever elected official is hired him and say, listen, I am the sheriff. I am the law of this town. We are going to listen to the president.
Right.
We're going to listen to our commander in chief. Okay. And if you
Yeah.
don't, I'm gonna take you to jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But he doesn't do that. He is her puppet. Cox is not a police chief. She hired Cox because Cox got beat up by a bunch of white cops back in the 80s, you know? So Cox got $3 million off the deal back then, the 80s, 90s, right? $3 million off the deal. He doesn't need to be working again, you know, he doesn't need to work. She hired Cox because she hates police, and that was when she was trying to defund the police and destroy the police from the inside, right?
Right.
So she hired somebody that has a vendetta for the BPD, who hates the BPD, which is Michael Cox. He hates them. He has a vendetta for them. Okay, he wants to ruin our system. So why not hire him?
Wow. I never thought about that, bro. This
See
is,
how they did Gross? Willie Gross? Willie Gross
yeah.
was the man. Willie Gross, but he was too strong. He was a strong black man. He's a strong, conservative-minded black man. You know, they don't want that. No, 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 no. Get him the hell out of here. They walked him right out the front door. That was nasty. They formed a coup against him. They formed a coup here in Massachusetts. It's like we live in like a banana republic here in Massachusetts, bro. And if you don't watch yourself, they will get you.
Wow.
But see, I'm strapped up all the time. I'm ready for all of them to run up on me, boy. In the court, on the streets, it don't even matter. I'm ready, boy.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
I hear you, man. I hear you. So, quick question though, right? As we wrap up real quick, because being a veteran, right? Being a former veteran, you served this country. How does the new government plan on helping veterans? You know, can you give us a little bit of insight about that, right?
Well, as you see, Trump is helping us out now. You know, he's pretty much helping every vet. He's building housing for vets. You know, he's clearing out the shelters off the legal so the vets can get back in these shelters and hotels. Right?
Yep.
He's doing a lot, man. What else? Um, the VA loans. You know, they're making that better. They better the VA loan actually. So your credit score doesn't have to be that high anymore. Like you need like a 650. I think you only need a 620 now or a
Right.
5 something now for a
Yep.
VA
Yep.
loan. You know, which is awesome. You know, they're doing a lot. They're trying to get create housing for have vets buy houses with their VAST vouchers. You know, so you can if you have a voucher, you can pretty much rent to own your house now. You know,
Yeah.
doing a lot. You know,
Yo, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Donnie. Like, how can people, right, in our community, how can they like educate themselves, right? Because however it is that we receive our news or we receive this information, right? Like, how can we better just know what's going on, what's in the know? You know what I mean?
easy,
how?
easy. Turn off the TV for one. You know, if you can, turn off the TV. But if you have a problem, addicted to it, okay, fine. Listen to the enemy. Listen to who you think is the enemy. Just take 1 week and just listen to everyone who you think is the enemy. Like me. I took 1 week, I listened to AOC, I listened to Ayanna Presley, I listened to Hillary Clinton, I listened to, Bernie Sanders. You know, I listen to all those people I think is the enemy of the state, enemy of the country, right? These people hate America, right? I listened to them for a week. Just listen to them. And then you listen to your faves and you see who's who. Just listen, just sit down and listen. Just stop having people tell you what to think and how to think, right? And just do your own research and just listen to people.
I like that. I like that. Yo, independent thinking, in which we don't really do nowadays, man. It's more like group thinking. And if you think outside of the group, it's like you're kind of like cast to the side, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I like about you, man. You've always thought on your own, you know what I mean, and had your own thoughts about certain things, and whether right or wrong, you know what I mean, you stand behind it, and I respect that. You know what I'm saying? I
I
respect that.
respect
Go
you
ahead.
too, also, Jay, because honestly, man, you're the same way because you could have been way farther up the line on this podcast stuff, but you know what? You actually said, "Yo, I'm gonna rock with D. D's wild. He's, and you rock with me. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, hey, I thank you too, man, because you put a lot of time into my life and my career, also. And
You already.
it could have probably hurt you because you're always filming me. You got awesome videos with me. We're like spitting out raw facts, and they don't like that. They don't like that. They don't like what you doing because you giving the truth. So I thank you, man.
You're already, brother. You're already, man. We got. See, that's the thing, man. Amongst brothers, man, it's like, even if a lot of the times I feel like, even if we may not like see eye to eye on certain things or certain topics, there doesn't need to be like no disrespect. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, we take things a little too personal sometimes, man. You know what I mean? If let's say if you
Yo,
don't,
you
let's
know,
say if you don't, let's say if you don't see, let's say if, for example, right, somebody doesn't see something as I do, they're like, oh, Donnie, blah blah blah, he's blah blah blah, but maybe he might know something that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's how I be thinking. I'm like, damn, what does this dude know that I don't know? You know what I'm saying? Are we getting the same information? What is it? You know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes, we don't really like take a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like take the glasses off of our eyes and see, what do you let me see your glasses. What are you looking at? You know what I'm saying? What do you see in your glasses? You know what I mean? It's almost like, we have our way of thinking, and everybody's supposed to think the way that we think. And if we don't think
same
like
way.
that, which is horrible, bro. You know what I'm
Same
saying?
way,
Which is
bro.
horrible. And that's why I can respect that, bro. I can respect somebody's difference of opinion, you know what I mean? And they're not only that, but then also they got certain facts to back it up too, you know what I mean? So it's not just like, I'm speaking out of emotion. I'm actually saying these things because, I'm in the know. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the know. I really know what's popping out here, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just kind of just winging it. So, any last thoughts, bro? Any last remarks, man, before we end up?
Hmm. There's so much I want to say, so much I can say. Like what? Where are we at in the community? What does the community want to know? Like, what do you want me to know? What do you want to know? You want some information? Tell me. Just ask me a question.
No, so here's the thing, bro. It's more like, like, what is it that, like, let's say if you had to leave a final thoughts, right? And I think you kind of hit it in the head a little while ago, is doing your own research. You know what I mean? Doing your own research and thinking for yourself, right? And just listening to other people, listening to the people that you don't like. Right. I thought that's brilliant. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the times when you don't like somebody and they start talking and they start saying things, you're like, oh, turn that off. I don't want to listen to that. Right.
Right,
Instead
right.
of just like, let me hear what this dude gotta really say. You know what I'm saying? Let me hear what it is that he gotta say, and looking at something objectively, you know what I'm saying? Looking at something objectively instead of, with emotions. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that's kind of like what I got. You know what I mean? Because,
Yeah.
just I learned a lot from you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't really I don't take things personal, and I don't take, like, let's say, even if you say something and you're like, you might say it in a certain way. I'm just thinking like, all right, what's the message behind that? You know what I'm saying? What's the message behind it? What
Hmm.
is it that I can actually learn from it? You know what I mean?
Right.
Or something that could actually open my, just a different perspective, bro, which I respect. You know what I mean? Which I respect. So yeah, man, that's why I was actually trying to ask you, like,
So
what's
I would
go
tell
ahead.
I would tell everybody, get out your comfort zone. Stop thinking that same old way you used to think. Like, look at people you don't like, watch shows you probably wouldn't watch, learn something new. Like,
Mm,
change up your palette,
I like that. I
because
like
that's
that.
how you learn. That's how you grow. Like, you only grow when you put yourself in uncomfortable situations. You know, you don't grow when you can do the same thing. You hit 30 from this spot every day. You don't grow like that. You grow when you box like people that are way better than you, people that are like, way better than the person you box. People are just, you'll never be better than. That's how you get better. You don't box people that you're better than or people that are on your level or around your level. You don't do that. You gotta like cross over.
Branch out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Hey, folks. Yo, Donnie, thank you so much, man. I know you took your time out. You know, you're out in Vegas, man. Definitely be safe out there. Enjoy your time out there, brother.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
brother.
much. Thank you for rocking out with us. Yo, it's your main man, Jay. Live, love, light. This was dope, D. Thank you, brother.
I love you, boy.
Love you too, my
Appreciate
man. Be
you. Yep.
easy.
All right. See you, boy.